else. So this is how this is going to play out. Y'all can't live there. You need to get your stuff and get out.
Okay.
If you want to appeal my decision, you have a $500 appeal bond, which has to be filed in this court no later than next Tuesday, close of business. I'm just going.
Woo, guys, this hearing instantly turns explosive when a heated family dispute spirals completely out of control. The judge loses patience, the arguments keep escalating, and the tension in the room becomes impossible to ignore. What starts as a routine case quickly turns into a jaw-dropping courtroom showdown. For nonstop courtroom drama and daily uploads, subscribe to Daily Courtroom Drama. Now let's jump into it.
You're asking this court for relief. You have the burden to prove that, number one, you have the right to possession of the property. Number two, they're either a landlord-tenant relationship or a tenant at will, meaning, they're your child and you allow them to live there. If you have some kind of rent agreement or whatever, explain that to the court. And just explain to me why you want me to order them to vacate if they're still there this morning.
Holt came to live with me in September. There is not a lease agreement. He came to live with me. And then what had happened previously is they had been told to leave from her parents' house from my understanding.
Okay.
And then she moved in shortly after. It's become extremely hostile over the months. While she was living there, she ended up leaving him and going back to her ex-husband. She ended up coming back. They've had a few little tiffs here and there. In December, when it started getting really hostile, he decided to get upset that we had some kind of fruit flies in our house. I did not realize I had a rotten banana. I did. And I had left some food in the sink, in the little thing that catches all before I put it up. I ended up leaving for Christmas Day because it was just getting so uncomfortable. And when I came back to him griping and complaining about it. And I said, if you're this upset, then leave. He said, make me. I said, I can and I will. And so I gave them 30 more days, before, to get out. They did not. And then that is when I decided to write the eviction notice, which I did. I wrote them a letter explaining how, it had just become too much. It had become hostile. It was not good. And they've had an additional 30 days before I came to write the eviction notice, but he has spit on his sister. Am I allowed to say cuss words?
I'm afraid not to. We are on the world web.
Okay.
Can you just kind of?
Okay, he has called her the C word.
Okay.
Him and Emily had another altercation where she was fixing to leave him because he won't go to work. That was my understanding. Maybe I'm wrong, but she was leaving him. He ended up taking her phone. It ended up being a whole disaster to where he ended up hitting somebody. And he was very intoxicated by the time he got over to his ex-wife's house. The ex-wife proceeded to call my daughter and ask her to come and get him before the police took him to jail. So she did that. Then all the way home, he kept calling Emily a B, and she was this, she was that, all the way home. Never once appreciated the ride. By the time I got home, his sister had left to go to church, and I was sitting in my car, and I see him walking up the driveway, walking all over, can't even walk a straight line, walking down the road, and I guess somehow or another he ended up back at his ex-wife's house. I don't know how. Got his truck, came home, and I'm like, this is completely out of hand.
Okay, so let me just
Man, how many bad decisions do you have to make over a lifetime to think that that's an acceptable series of decisions to make in a single day? That is insane if what the mom is saying is true.
cut through the chase. In other words, he's a tenant at will. You allow him to live there. She's moved in. You've given them 30 days notice to vacate. They refusing to leave. And that's why we're in court today. You're not asking for money. You're just asking for possession of the property.
Yes.
Okay. And you own this house.
I live there.
Okay. So that.
I'm sorry. Yes.
You own this house.
Yes, sir.
That's your house.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Folks, why do you think you've got a right to live there? She don't want you there. She gave you 30 days to get out. You're still there.
So back in, and it was not September that we moved in, it was October. I was not asked to leave my parents' house. I was having some personal family issues.
Okay, that's irrelevant. You are in this lady's house. Okay, both of you. One's a son, one's a guest. Okay? She don't want y'all there. She wants you to leave. Get your stuff, your bodies, any other persons that's with you, and move out. What legal right do you have to live in the house with her?
We don't, but
Okay.
what I was getting at was that we are working on that, but she has not had the maturity to come to us and speak to us and see what our plans are. She just went straight for legal. So
Okay.
she
She
has,
did also tell us we have as long as we need to get somewhere that we can.
it's a
Okay,
big lack of communication.
lack of communication or not, let me communicate clearly, okay? There was a letter presented to you that said you had 30 days to leave.
We did
We
get that
never
letter
received a
until
until we were
we're
formally
served.
served for this court date.
Okay. I'm looking at the letter and gave me a date back then, so,
I saw that it was attached to the paperwork. We never saw that letter. We were never handed that letter. Nothing.
okay,
Your Honor, may I?
hold on a second.
Okay.
So, but she don't want you there, so why are you still there?
We're in the process of trying to find a place to get out. We don't necessarily want to be there either. It's a process of finding a place to leave to.
Okay,
That you can't just call somewhere and rent in a day. It doesn't, there's processes to that.
okay. Notice to vacate?
Yes, sir. I sent pictures in that I put on their, I taped on their door. They got no, I also sent it certified
Okay,
and I put pictures, I sent y'all pictures of where I had taped both times they sent the orange sheet showing that they had a letter. I taped it to their door. I have no longer access to be able to get in. He took the door handle that locked on my side because where they live, it was a garage converted into a room.
okay,
And the door locked from my end. He has taken that off and he has turned it around to where he can lock me out. He has also put a specific door lock on the outside and I don't have the code to where I can't go in. But I did my due diligence because I know the law and I made sure I did those things and I
Okay.
put that in there
Right.
before I came to court.
and that's the pictures that's attached here that I'm,
Those pictures have been sent. I've also sent pictures of the reports of his,
I know about the reports, I just want worried about.
yes,
things that
I
wants to
sent
vacate.
pictures of both. I even sent you a video of him calling me names and her calling me names as well.
All right. So what I see is that she's posted that properly, the wording on it's appropriate for tenant at
I don't
will.
know if she took it down or what, but we had not seen that till we were served.
Now, you were served, you had notice to be here, so
Yes, sir.
she's not asking for anything else, so this is how this is gonna play out. Y'all can't live there. You need to get your stuff and get out.
Okay.
If you want to appeal my decision, you have a $500 appeal bond, which has to be filed in this court no later than next Tuesday, close of business. I'm just gonna tell you straight up, okay? If you don't vacate that property, then that here will come out, post red 24-hour notice. If you're still there, after the 24-hour notice is passed out, if she seeks a writ of possession because you didn't vacate, then your stuff's gonna be put at the curb, and the curb vultures out there on 1902 will go to town. Do you understand? Y'all get your stuff, get out.
We have
The
2
other
weeks to
thing-
get it.
Huh?
We have 2 weeks to get it.
No.
That's a lot of stuff.
If she wants to lie in extra time, that's fine, but my court order is immediately, okay? If you don't file by the close of business on the appeal date, the writ of possession will be issued. We're not playing games. Get your stuff, get out. No more misbehavior, act like adults, all of y'all. And quit using that C word. That's very unbecoming of a man.
To be fair, you didn't ask about it and said that you're just taking her word.
I'm sorry, do what?
I said, you're just taking her word that I said it.
I'm just saying, if you said it, don't use it.
I have it.
So he said, she said. All right, here's my paperwork.
Sir, Your Honor, can I request that they have to pay the $250 or the money that I had to pay to come here?
That is part of the court costs that they will be required to pay.
Thank you.
Man, that is crazy. you can definitely tell from their reactions that they were 100% aware of that being taped to their door. I mean, sure, there's a small possibility they didn't, but looking at their body movement and their reaction, I doubt that. I'm glad the judge saw through that BS and put them right in their place. If you want to see more drama like this, make sure to like and subscribe to Daily Courtroom Drama, where we upload twice a day, and I'll see you on the next one.